group went in or something?
Yeah, this whole group went in. It was full one spot when I got here. You have a Facebook group, FOLR, Friends of Liberty Reservoir.
That's right.
And who's the actual perpetrator that started this?
Right there. Say your piece.
Say my piece.
So did you come out here and see all the trash? Do you come out here besides picking up trash?
I do. So I walk my dogs, I horseback ride, was part of another organization, and loved riding the reservoir.
Okay.
Came to find out that DPW had decommissioned some areas. This is not one of them, but around where I live is one of them.
What do you mean decommission? What does that mean?
Decommission means they're no longer maintaining it. You're not allowed in there. You can't walk. You can't hike, bike.
They're no longer maintaining it.
Yep. So,
Was that pre-pandemic?
Pre-pandemic.
That was actually like 6 years ago, they decommissioned those roads.
Now, why did they do that? Just budget?
They had several reasons. It was hard getting information, so this has been a several-year process. I'm not native to Maryland, so in my research and trying to find out, we ran into a lot of roadblocks. So we had several meetings, fast forward until now. This is our good faith effort, picking up trash, so then we can get in with the DPW and ultimately bring back those decommissioned areas that we live next to, that we would like to use. So that's why we're doing this. We hope to get recognition. We hope to work congruently, like our group says, in conjunction with Baltimore City's DPW.
Right, so DPW is Department of Public Works.
Correct.
They actually own...
They own this. A lot of people don't know that. Baltimore City owns this land.
So is your idea, you have friends that you coerced into the first pickup?
Actually, George has been the main leader because he knows the area, he knows where the trash is. He has been on a campaign for how many years now?
This is my 5th year of picking up trash. I've been walking out here 14 years. Just a quick story. I was walking these dogs one day and came along the shoreline and there was some trash. And I heard him wince and he got a hook in his foot. So I had to get my keys out and dig it out. And that was not fun. And I got angry. Another one of my dogs that's no longer present had a hook almost going to his eye. Made me mad, and so I started saying to myself, I got to come out here and pick this up. And there's broken glass everywhere. And people are getting their feet cut, their dogs are, and he's had a couple slashes on his front paws. And so I just started picking it up. And for me, it was every Saturday and Sunday year round.
It was?
And it still is. Every Saturday and Sunday, unless I'm out of state, I'm out there picking up trash for a couple hours every Saturday and Sunday. So we'll walk about 4 miles on average.
Wow.
And the amount of trash on the shoreline is overwhelming. And these are people that are fishing. Now I want to say that the majority of fishermen are good sportsmen and they love the outdoors and nature, and they don't do that. But there's certain people that, I guess it may be a cultural thing, they don't understand about issues with trash and pollution. Fishing line. My favorite. There's a whole bunch of trash up ahead. Oh man. So I think there's an educational need out here for one thing. For another thing, I think, if you consider that Baltimore Environmental Police has 3 officers for these 9,000 plus acres, 89 miles of trails, right? It's ineffective. They don't have the manpower to get it done. So why not put signs up indicating leave trash and you get a $500 fine in 2 languages at those hot spots where the trash really piles up. I've had places where it takes me 2 days to get out of there and I've got 10 bags of trash. It's overwhelming. And so that's why I've been doing it for the last 5 years. But that's just, that's just a Band-Aid, right?
No, right.
But you got to get the signs out and get information out and maybe even target law enforcement to those key spots where the signs are.
Usually fishing spots?
It's almost always. But I have found bottles in the middle of the woods, 200 yards off the trail. And I don't know who those people are, but most of the people, like horseback riders and mountain bikers and hikers, don't do that. I don't know who it is. It might be, younger people out here partying. There's a little bit of that.
Sure.
But they usually don't go farther than about 200-300 yards from the parking lot. But why am I finding an individual bottle 500 yards in off the trail, right? But it's everywhere. And there are old dumps here.
Legal dumps?
I don't know if they were legal. They were just people that lived here maybe back before the reservoir was even established, and they would just dump their glass, really old glass.
I see.
And there's tons of that. There's a couple that I know of that I haven't had the desire to go start on that yet.
To the left.
And another one. I'll catch up.
Okay.
Is that the one you saw?
Yes.
This one?
Yep.
And it's almost the smaller things that make a huge difference as well. People just walk by, oh, it's just a bottle cap, oh, it's just a little fragment, but it all adds up. And it takes away from the aesthetics.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Okay.
Good.
Got that one. You have to do it year-round just to keep up with it. And like I said, law enforcement, they're taxed to be able to, keep up with that. And they're busy. I mean, they hand out a number of citations to people fishing and hunting out here. I'm sure.
Do they really?
Well, they do.
For the license? The fishing license?
Whatever, it might be some violation like not having enough orange on, or a fishing license issue, or bringing in alcohol, or maybe starting a fire out there. I mean, there's all kinds of illegal fire pits. Swimming, lots of swimming.
Oh yeah, of course.
So they have major issues and not enough manpower to really deal with it.
Is there a solution? Besides, the signs are one thing.
Like I said, it's an educational thing. When you're dealing with folks that don't have a value set for keeping nature clean, you kind of have to have an education program of sorts, and that can be part of the signage thing. But I think just letting them know that they're subject to a heavy fine for leaving their trash behind will make them think twice. And just take out what you take in, right? That simple.
Yeah, exactly.
And let them know the seriousness of the nature. Because when you put a fine behind it, it lets people know this is serious. Like, they're,
And it's only
And-
helping the DPW because their main concern is water quality. And so that's why we want to pick up the trash. We're concerned about our water quality, nature.
Yeah. And most of the trash is right there at the shoreline.
Yeah.
The vast majority.
Oh, is that right?
The
Yeah.
vast majority.
Okay.
A lot of it comes in floating from tributaries after a big storm, and it'll just pile up in the lagoon. And when the water level goes down, it's stranded there.
Hmm.
It'll pile up.
Okay. Okay.
A lot of times it's just people fishing that they got a beer and they chuck it over their shoulder and it's 20 yards up. And you know that didn't float in because it's uphill of the high water line. So there's a lot of that too.
So how big is your Facebook group right now? Do you volunteers?
It's after one of the meetings we had when we brought to light about the decommissioned trails, we had a major surge. I know I send out emails to over 100 people that not just on Facebook, but sign up to receive our emails about what we're doing and the plight we're going through, trying
Sure.
to get a permit so we can pick up trash as a group.
Doesn't that sound funny?
It does.
I need a permit to pick up trash.
You need and insurance, which is very expensive for our group.
Liability insurance.
I thought the county was covering that.
The county is now, so yes, we are working with the county to help us have insurance, so we, as a small group, don't have to, volunteers do not have to pay for it ourselves. If the insurance is covered, we'd like to use that GoFundMe account now to get our permit, to put up signs, maybe have trash cans, work with a company, maybe they'd be willing to donate some of their trash pickup at the cans, because you'll
Sure.
notice when you come in, there's no cans for people to put trash. So you have to carry it in, carry it out. But if we could get cans there and work with a company to pick it up.
I think that's a great idea. So, trash can sponsorship, local businesses. I know at the dog park, they have benches that have people's names on them. So I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So local businesses they can sponsor this. Well, one of the things I want to do is I'm going to get people to sponsor you guys for coffee, donuts, and water when you're out here every day. Pick a Saturday, pick a Sunday. I'm going to sponsor the group today. I'm going to buy them water.
Great.
They can designate on their GoFundMe that there's a little note you can put there on it. I want this to go to coffee, water, donuts.
Okay.
And or join us.
Or
Yeah.
join, yes.
Yeah.
I know, absolutely.
Yeah, if
no.
you don't want to donate, or so if you can't walk, don't want to walk, don't want to be out here, you can do that. Or join us, pick up trash. You can go a little ways, you can go a long ways. It's totally up to you. Bring a friend, you know.
And
We've
there's also the option of coming by and actually hauling the bags out afterwards if you have a pickup truck and want to get involved in that way, because you have a place that you can dump it and want to contribute that way. That's always helpful. And like you mentioned with the dog park, I think that is a great idea to sponsor like a trash can. I know at the dog park they sponsor a bench, but
Yes.
someone could, and there's a lot of like sponsorships of trails around here, or like Adopt a Highway program, so someone could sponsor a trash can and that could be their job to keep an eye on it and remove the trash and dispose of it properly. And then that's with their little placard on the trash can, and and that's their contribution. So.
You know, one of the things that really drives me nuts is you'll come down to a spot and see a bottle and you'll pick it up. And as soon as you look up, there's another one. And as soon as you get that and you look up, there's 3 more. And before you know it, you've picked up a full backpack and you only saw that first one.
Yep.
And so I find that it's best to come out here after the leaves fall off, because then you can see everything.
Sure.
The vegetation's down. You can see all the trash that's in there 20 yards.
Speaking of that, do you come out here in the wintertime?
Year round.
Yep.
So if it snows,
I've been out here, one time it was up to my pocket. That was 2010. Of course, we couldn't see the trash.
right, I was going to say, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm always, every weekend, every Saturday and Sunday.
But there's always some fresh stuff thrown on top somewhere.
Oh, that's true, on
They
top.
never come out empty-handed, I'll tell you that.
I mean, I've come out here when there was monsoon rains, and I'll just put on my rain gear and go.
You're very dedicated.
Well, you know, the dogs need their walk, and I might as well take a backpack. Come on, here. Please come. I don't think he's interested in water.
You're contemplating.
I am. So I'm like, maybe I'll just go this way and get this, whatever.
But if you get the tire, that means you're in the water.
You could have seen the trash out here when I started. That first couple of years, I thought, what am I doing? Because it was overwhelming, and there's still places that get like that in a matter of a couple weekends. So it's got to be addressed. And to me, if I'm going to leave this area in a little while, retire and leave. If I could leave a legacy where we put up the signs and law enforcement is targeting those spots where the signs are and finding people hard and getting the message out, do not leave your trash. That probably would go a long way for the future, and this group won't have to work as hard. So, leave it there.
When you're able to have a group, how big is the group, typically, average?
One time over at Pine Knob Road, we had 50 people, and that's because some scout leaders brought out some young scouts. So we had a little army, and we came out with about 8 bags of trash, if I remember right. There was a lot of trash on the shoreline. So I was very happy about that.
Yes.
The second biggest one was other side of the bridge, it's southeast trail. And we brought a bunch of people out there. Can't remember how many people were there, but it was at least 15,
I was
maybe
gonna say
more.
maybe
Yeah,
15 or 20, yeah.
And what did we bring out? About 10 bags of trash?
And about several tires.
Yeah.
And several tires. There's tires in every lagoon in here.
Yeah.
Why do they come all the way back these trails to dump tires?
Well, you know, tires are hard to get rid of. So when you live uphill, you just keep rolling it.
Well,
down.
it's true. But I mean, the dump takes them, I think, for $5 or something.
People are interesting creatures.
Yes, they are. That's
When I walk down the trail and I see a bottle laying there, I go, it's an empty bottle. It doesn't weigh anything. Put it in your back pocket. I just don't get it. So
if you like nature,
if you respect nature.
if you respect nature, take care of nature.
Yeah.
So, are you not allowed to have a group of people organized right now? But individually, an individual can pick up as much trash
We're
as they
just
want.
friends that are
Right.
hiking together.
Me too.
And picking up trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And I go several times on my own to pick up trash. I live down near the boat launches, and I will hike that area repetitively, weekly, to pick up trash and just do my part. I mean, partly because of COVID and partly because of DPW, we can't get together to do it. So I just do it on my own, sometimes with or without my dog. And just, I can't walk by it. I moved here from Colorado 5 years ago. And I was appalled on my first walk with my dog around the reservoir. I was like, how can people just continue to walk by this? It's like, how is it still laying here? So I started picking up trash right away, and it just became a weekly habit. And I couldn't continue to walk by it. And like he mentioned, a lot of it is fishing line and hooks, and that's very dangerous. My dog got fishing wire line wrapped around her paw a couple times to where it was cutting off circulation, and I didn't really realize it till it tightened enough for her to wince and limp. And so it's prevalent, and it's all over, and this is a huge reservoir, so there's a lot of territory to cover.
There's some fishing line.
Where? Oh, okay. Get that.
I never would have looked at that except you all keep picking it up.
And now you will not be able to unsee it.
That's pretty much it.
It's such a beautiful place, and I've hiked every single trail, every path, every deer trail in this reservoir. Maybe I've missed a couple because there wasn't parking or something, but I even do the Baltimore County side. And you know, after being on a trail 2 or 3 times, you get bored of it. You want to find another one, keep the adventure going. And so I've logged pretty much all the 89 miles, I believe. At least all the fire rolls for sure.
Who put these trails in?
I think a lot of it was pre-existing before the reservoir. A lot of these are old roads, and in some spots you'll see the asphalt.
Okay.
And some of them are boat ramps and such.
And you'll actually find graveyards.
Yeah.
There's that we have inquired about, about our group. Could we help, at least maintain it? No, was the answer. That's not there.
Wow.
Yeah, dating to the 1800s. So it was all farmland and farms, and you can find old houses.
And they had the mill town up at the second bridge.
Yeah, but there's houses like over on our side. So Carroll County over by Hooter and Pool Road, out in the reservoir.
Those were a lot of the decommissioned roads were, and those are among the more beautiful trails, so it would be a shame not to have them available.
Sure.
And decommissioning means if you get a blowout on a culvert, they're not fixing it. If a tree falls down over the trail, they're not going to remove it. And so over time you lose access, and then it becomes more dangerous. And
yeah, look at all the fishing line.
There's an amazing amount of bait canisters out here. I picked up thousands of bait canisters. Thousands.
I've almost thought about trying to figure out who sells what kind and going back to the store and asking them to post and remind their customers not to leave them.
Some gas stations locally, like the Exxon, they sell live bait. They have a small trail maintenance crew.
They do.
And they are excellent. They do a great job, and they've gone out there and cleared out a lot of that stuff and filled in a lot of the blowouts of the culverts. I have to commend those folks. They're doing a great job. That little group. I don't know how many it is, 3 or 4?
Yeah, not very many.
Small.
And they're just very kind, but they're limited by,
Sure.
and if you want More stories. I mean, there is a culvert we could take you to, and the homeowner that is also a trail rider. It is all the water because of the culvert they put in, and because the area is decommissioned, they will not take it out, and now all the water is backing up onto her property. And they said it's decommissioned, we're not taking the culvert out, because she said, I understand, decommissioned, you know, we're not getting the trail, but can you just knock that out of there? They said, we're letting it go back to nature. I don't understand how
Well, a culvert doesn't go back to nature. That's
Exactly.
man-made, of course.
yeah. So there's a lot of inconsistencies in the information we receive.
You also have to consider that, you know, what does back to nature mean? Well, erosion is a natural process. And so when you get a heavy rainstorm, you get a new rivulet forming through a trail. I know of a trail that is now a little stream. I used to walk that trail 14 years ago. Over the last 3 years, it's become a little stream. It's over there off of Hodges Road.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're talking about. Yeah.
You can almost wade through there.
Yeah.
So what's keeping it family safe? What are some of the strangest things you've pulled out of here?
Man, anything from dirty diapers, which are common, to perfume bottles, whipped cream bottles from kids getting high using the nitrous or whatever. Some things I don't think I want to mention.
Well, that's why I said family safe.
Yeah, if I have to put my gloves on, I'm probably not going to touch it. Well, the most interesting thing was there were 2 big bags of trash on the other side of the reservoir here, and people were bagging the trash but not taking it out. I couldn't understand that one either. So I said, okay, I'll take it out. So I had to frog jump with them because they were heavy. Plus I had a backpack and another sack full of trash. So I got 4 bags. And I brought one bag up to the hill, and when I got back up there, there was a big old rat snake about 6 feet long right next to it. And I said, did you come out of that bag, sir? And I thought, I bet you did, right? So I kicked the bag a couple times, and I said, okay, you were in there, but you're gone. And I took the bag and put it in my car, along with the other bags, and I went home. And I put those bags next to my recycle bin. I was going to open one up and start putting plastic jugs in there, and there's Mama. And I said, well, I'm sorry I took you away from your home here, and I'm glad you didn't come out in my car while I was driving.
Yes,
That
yes.
was the most interesting one.
So that's a very,
But I'm a snake magnet.
I presume a rat snake's not poisonous, right?
No, they're not venomous at all.
But they bite still?
Any angry snake will bite you.
Okay.
And I don't do snakes at all.
Yeah. I prefer not to have to, but I've had them fall on me off the trees and all kinds of stuff.
They actually climb trees.
Some snakes will climb trees.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I've had them fall on me, but not here in Maryland.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
And by the way, I just want to mention this place we're going to pick up trash. The first time I came out here, which must have been 4 or 5 years ago, it was so devastated. I mean, so unbelievably trashed that I thought, no one has tried to clean this up, really? I mean, it was just a disaster area. And that took me about 3 weeks, of weekends coming out here to get it all cleaned up, all the way up to the gravel pit. You have to come out here at least twice a year just to keep up with it. So it's a Band-Aid thing again.
So right now we're on the north side of the lake off 32.
Yeah, north side.
And how many parking spaces do they have like this around Liberty Lake? I've always seen this one here.
That's the biggest one. There's another one up on Oakland Road near the water treatment plant.
Okay.
Maybe a third that size.
Okay.
And people park along the shoulder as well, on the grass.
Right. When I was a teenager, we used to swim on the rock. I don't know, was it legal then? Was it ever legal?
I don't believe it's ever been legal. There's signage around here that you'll see that swimming is not allowed. That's one of the items.
And that includes dog swimming. And a lot of people don't realize
Yeah.
that you're not legally allowed your dogs to swim. Raise money to put back into the group and,
There's a tire. There's your first tire.
I see it.
Another thing you see a lot of is flip-flops.
And the boats are allowed to be out of electric motors,
Yeah.
not gas.
Yeah.
and a minimum of 12 feet on the boats. So kayaks have to be 12 feet long.
Why is that?
I'm guessing because of the size of the reservoir. It's rather large. I mean, windy days, a smaller boat wouldn't fare well out there, is my
Okay,
guess.
so safety issue.
Yeah.
Probably so. Yeah. I guess I'll just say I kind of got hooked on this, but quite often when I'm walking on the trails, I just shake my head and say, why are you doing this? And it's every weekend. Well, I'm giving them a walk. They have a nice hike. And I figure, why not pick up trash along the way? And most of it's on my back. It's out of my hands. So it's not really that inconvenient. And if everybody would do that, they'd find out you can fill up a backpack and it really isn't that big a deal. Pick it up as you go.
Well, as a local Carroll Countyan,
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Great.
I absolutely appreciate it.
So there is a phone number we can call too, that people can call and report once they've bagged all this trash.
Really?
They can leave
That's
it sit
what
on
we
the
do.
side of the road. They can call or use an app and report, and the county will come pick up this trash and dispose of it.
And what place they did, is usually taken up with.
Well, do you folks want to go to where there's some trash? Or?
Yeah, we want to see some trash. Absolutely.
You want to see some trash?
I want
Time
to
to
see
get dirty.
no trash. That means
Yeah.
That would be
my
great.
dog is-
That would be great.
All
And
right,
let me get the three of your names while we're on this part.
Stephanie Brennan.
Jennifer Majors.
George Copeland.
Very good. Let's go find some trash.
All right.
Let's take a walk, dogs.
Yeah, they're
Take a walk,
ready.
right?
They're like, we never stood so long.
You did great.
So I was hoping that you and I would have met before you first asked, because the weekend before you asked, I was in a really bad spot. I mean, really bad, other side of the south side. And I would have loved to have shown you that, because it's amazing in one weekend how much trash one group of people can leave behind. And we're talking rubber gloves, dirty diapers, Popeyes bags, love Popeyes by the way. But anything, their lunch, their dinner, forks. They left a grill out there. They left a sleeping bag out there. I could go on and on.
Popeye should sponsor a trash can.
All companies should.
Well, anybody, if you find their trash, you should say, hey, sponsor a trash can.
Yeah. Hey, that's not a bad idea. All right, I guess we're going.
Okay.